and welcome back to Ask Addi. I'm the titular Addi, Addison J. Smith, and in this episode Normally I do Ask Addi, a show about queer issues, especially questions about the transgender experience, but this is actually an audition where I answer the question, why WhatCulture should hire me for TrekCulture and WhoCulture, so let's dig in. While Ask Addi is a brand new show on a brand new channel, I am not a brand new presenter or performer. I have been on one stage or another most of my life, including performances as a musician, a singer, an actor, an educator, and now video presenter. I have master's degrees in both music composition and digital storytelling, where I learned about the production of new media programs, which is why nearly everything you see in this video was created by me in the Adobe Suite, specifically Premiere Pro, Audition, After Effects, and Illustrator. So there's all the professional blah blah, but why in particular should you hire me, of all people, to be part of TrekCulture and WhoCulture? Well, you asked for certain criteria, so let's break those down. Knowledge. I was essentially raised on Star Trek the original series. My mother was a big-time Trekker, and she introduced me to the show at a young age. One of my formative memories is when she took me and my brother to the Wrath of Khan, and she completely broke down during Spock's death scene. She was still bawling, just bawling, as we exited the theater. In my late teens, I was the vice president of a chapter of Starfleet, the International Star Trek Fan Association, the shuttlecraft Proteus. There was a time in my life when I could name an episode of The Next Generation within the first 10 seconds of the cold open. For some episodes, I can do it before anyone spoke. I could give you a plot synopsis, identify important guest characters, and sometimes I could name the guest actors, like when Matt Frewer played Rasmussen in A Matter of Time. I mean, of course I remember that. It was Max Headroom, Edison Carter, on Star Trek. Then there was Dr. Doctor, and he was Taggart on Eureka. Anyway, Star Trek isn't the only sci-fi property I'm familiar with. Then came my Star Trek, Deep Space Nine. I have watched Deep Space Nine a minimum of 10 times through, and I mean through, starting with Emissary and all the way to What You Leave Behind. I saw it all in broadcast, and every few years I'll break out the DVDs and watch the whole thing again. Some individual episodes I've seen closer to 20 times. I've even went to see the What We Leave Behind documentary in the theater. Please forgive this horrible picture of me. I have such an emotional connection to DS9 that for my birthday this year, my brother got me this.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Addison. Happy birthday to you.
I literally had to dry the tears off my phone before I could say thank you. I've been through Voyager several times, and yet every time I get to it, I have to say, human salamanders? Really? On Enterprise, don't get me started about Trip's death, and I'm not one of those, I love my Star Trek and this newfangled stuff is horrible fans. I love Discovery. I love Picard and Lower Decks, and I'm really looking forward to Prodigy and Strange New Worlds. In fact, I just finished binging all 3 seasons of Discovery to get ready for Season 4. It has a special place in my heart because of its centering of LGBTQ+ characters and relationships. By the way, if Owo and Kayla don't get together, there is no justice in this universe. Finally, I've seen all the movies but the motion picture in the theater, including the Kelvin timeline. And on that, I have to say, Carl Urban channeled DeForest Kelley. I mean, seriously, that was an amazing performance. Now, I've gone on and on about Star Trek, but I'm also a major fan of Doctor Who and several other franchises like The X-Files, Warehouse 13, and Babylon 5, which is getting rebooted on the CW. Maybe. We'll see. I could have done this video on any of those shows to the same depth. I'm a major geek and proud to be so. Okay, next factor, confidence. If you can't tell I'm pretty confident in myself and my abilities, then I'm not nailing this video as well as I think I am. So, not to be smug, I am. Maybe smug's a good thing. Next factor, uniqueness. Let's face it, I am not someone your audience would expect to see on a WhatCulture channel. Most obviously, I'm a Yank. People start a TrekCulture video and expect to hear someone speaking with one of the lovely accents of the Isles. And I suppose I could launch into this weird kind of sort of accent, but it's complete bollocks, so I wouldn't do that because it would just be insulting. Nope, I'm an American. Born in Georgia, raised in West Virginia, currently living in Indiana. Hey, you know who else is from Indiana? Captain Catherine Janeway. In fact, I'm currently about a 2-hour drive from her hometown, Bloomington, Indiana. Here's an idea. Tours of the future homes of Star Trek characters. Think about it on a mobile unit, going around the... Anyway. Another thing you've probably noticed is I'm older than a lot of your other presenters, but that's not a bad thing. Star Trek fandom spans Gen Z to boomers, so some older representation might be appropriate for the channel. Oh, you thought I was talking about being trans. Yeah, you'll probably get some backlash. Yeah. They'll say, you said you were hiring a woman, but you hired a trans, and you can say, no, we did not hire a trans woman. We hired a trans feminine non-binary person, and then watch their heads explode. By the way, Cronenberg is in Star Trek. Amazing. Seriously, though, Star Trek has always been about uplifting the oppressed and marginalized. Putting an NB, especially a trans feminine NB, on your channel will increase your diversity, send a message of acceptance, and it ties in well to the Adira Gray storyline from Discovery. I believe that casting a trans person would be a plus for your channel. To determine my experience with web-based media, you can check out my website, my Medium blog, which has been suffering, honestly, because I've been writing for my YouTube channel. That should also go to show that I have lots of ideas. As for collaboration, I'm an educator, I'm a musician, I sit on the boards of directors of multiple nonprofits. I'm accustomed to working with all sorts of people. As a bonus, you'd get someone who already has their own studio. Full-size green screen, professional audio and video capture, and sound buffering to get you a very clean sound. I can do voiceover work in here too. I can even do my American radio announcer voice if you like. So there you have it. I am a lifelong Trekker who knows the whole franchise inside and out. I would be a unique voice for TrekCulture, WhoCulture, and any other channel you care to put me on. I can edit my own takes if you like and upload them complete. I can even launch into song if you like. Befroget me kein saltes Kind. But not that song. I'm sorry, I try, I can't. Fight me. Anyway, this has been Addi Smith applying for TrekCulture, WhoCulture, and WhatCulture. A job that I kind of feel like I'm destined for, or at least destined to be right for. And I hope you will see that also. Thank you for watching this audition. Peace and long life.